1, Chapter 4. Meursault works hard all week, goes to the movies twice, and Raymond sends a letter. He sees Marie on Saturday and wants her when he sees her. They go swimming at a beach outside Algiers. They then went back to his place and she stayed the night. Marie and Meursault have lunch together and he gets back home from buying meat. They hear a woman's voice coming from Raymond's room. Salamano and his dog leave and Meursault tells Marie about him and she laughs. Marie asks Meursault if he loves her, and he says it doesn't mean anything, but he doesn't think so. She looks sad, but then starts laughing, so he kisses her. At that moment, they hear a fight break out in Raymond's room. They hear a shrill voice, then Raymond's voice, and then some thuds and a woman's scream. The hallway fills with people. They can still hear the woman screaming and Raymond beating her. Marie asks Meursault to call the cops, but Meursault says he doesn't like police. A cop comes anyway and knocks on the door. The woman starts crying and the door opens. Raymond is smoking a cigarette, and the girl runs to the cop, telling him that Raymond hit her. The cop asks Raymond his name and tells him to take the cigarette out of his mouth. Raymond just takes a drag, and the cop slaps him, sending the cigarette flying to the floor. Raymond then asks to pick up the cigarette, and the cop lets him. The girl then says that Raymond beat her and that he's a pimp. Raymond asks the cop if it's legal for a girl to call a man a pimp. Then he tells the girl that it's not over. The cop tells Raymond to stay in his apartment until the police call him to the station, and then says he shouldn't be so drunk in the day to be shaking. Raymond says he's not drunk, just worked up. Marie and Meursault go back inside and finish making lunch, but Marie isn't hungry. Meursault eats the whole thing. Marie leaves, and then Meursault takes a nap. A couple hours later, there's a knock and Raymond comes in. Raymond says he did what he planned, but she slapped him, so he beat her. Raymond says that the cop could do anything he wanted because regardless, the girl got her beating. Raymond asks if Meursault thought he'd hit the cop, and Meursault says he didn't expect a thing. Meursault has to be a witness for Raymond. All he has to say is that the girl cheated on him. They go out together and Raymond buys him a brandy and then they go to shoot some pool. Raymond then wants to go to a whorehouse, but Meursault says he doesn't like that. They decide to go back home and Raymond is happy the girl got what she deserved. When they get back, Salamano is in front of the door looking upset. Salamano didn't have his dog. Raymond asks what is wrong and Salamano just mutters, "Stinking bastard." When Meursault asks where his dog is, Salamano snaps that he's just gone. Then he says they were at a parade ground and the dog got off the leash and disappeared. Raymond mentions that the dog might come back. They do so all the time. Salamano says that that's impossible, that they'll take the dog away, and that even if someone found him, everyone's disgusted by the dog's scales. Meursault tells him that he should go to the pound, and if they catch the dog, he can get it back for a fee. Salamano gets mad that he has to pay a fee for the dog. Raymond and Meursault then go inside. A couple minutes later, after they say goodbye to each other, Salamano comes to Meursault's door. Meursault invites him in, but he says no. Salamano asks if they'd really take the dog away. Meursault tells him that the pound will keep the dog for 3 days, and then do what they see fit. He says goodbye, and Meursault can hear him pacing in his room, and then getting into bed, and then starting to cry. Meursault thinks of Maman. Then he goes to bed without dinner.